Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of For and By. You are super privileged because you're watching the very first episode. This is very exciting, everyone. It's the first episode of For and By. I am your host, Miss E.A. Lacey. You guys can just call me Miss Lacey. um, so I want to make sure that, because, this is a new show and it's just getting off the ground, so make sure that you stay tuned every week because there'll be improvements made and things may change, things may not change, things will come, things will go. And I want you guys to make sure you leave comments or send an email and let me know what you like and what you don't like. No. I may just listen to you. So I'm going to get started right away. I don't want to waste any more time. And we're going to get started with what the people want to know. So first on the list of what the people want to know is we lost someone very special this week, Mr. Bill Powell, who was the first African American to build, own, and operate a golf course. He died in Canton, Ohio, and Mr. Powell opened the Clearview Golf Course in April of 1948 on 78 acres with 9 holes, and this was with funding that he got from 2 black physicians, and also his brother took a second mortgage out on his home and loaned Mr. Powell the money. You should look him up online and get a lot more information. He has a very dynamic family, and they've done some incredible things, not only for black society and for American society, but just for entrepreneurs and just for people in general to show about, the spirit of going after what you believe in. In other news, if you are a resident of the United States, you should know that while you were kissing someone at midnight, January 1st, there were over 40,000 new laws that went into effect. And they range, of course, they vary from state to state, and they vary on the federal level and the local level. But some of the really interesting ones to me are that California now has a ban on the legal limit of trans fat that are allowed in foods. It is illegal to be fat in California. Also, Texas now has a law in place that teens cannot tan without a parent. So, fist pump for responsible tanning. Moving on, and by the way, I have a serious head cold today, if you haven't noticed. So, if I start wiping my nose or something, don't frown and don't leave more comments about it. I'm warning you in advance. I am miserable today. So, anyone who knows me knows that I am not a fan of the iPhone or AT&T in general. But Jack Dorsey has given all you iPhone users a chance to be even more pretentious than you were in 2009. So there's a product called Square, and it plugs into the audio jack of the iPhone. And basically you can use it to swipe a credit card and either charge people for transactions or pay for transactions on your iPhone. And I guess to relate this to the people, basically what this means is that now you can pay for your bootleg movies and music in the parking lot with a credit card. Thanks, Mr. Dorsey. Alright, guys, mark of the beast. Watch out. Also, President Obama is in it again. And one of those situations where obviously he can do nothing right. So, thanks to the GOP for pointing out how much he can't get right. President Obama, when he was campaigning, it was a big deal for him that Guantanamo Bay Prison be closed down because a lot of terrorists were using it to promote and to recruit for their groups, for Al-Qaeda and the other groups. However, the GOP is saying that by closing the prison down and sending these detainees back to their home countries, it's giving them an opportunity to, I told you, it's giving them an opportunity to plan even more attacks. Now, of the 560 people that have been released, and there's actually over that amount of people that have been released already, only a small number of them have gone on, after they've completed the rehabilitation program, only a small number have gone on to participate in terrorist activities. So, it's kind of like a university not having a 100% graduation rate. Are you going to say it's a bad school if they have an 86% graduation rate or 92%? So, let's just see how this plays out. A lot of the remaining detainees, there's about 200 people left, and over almost half of that amount are from the country of Yemen, and a lot of the problematic detainees that have been released already have been acting kind of crazy in Yemen. So the Yemenites are causing a holdup on the closing of this prison. It will be delayed a bit as they try to work out the best way to proceed with this. Excuse me. In more news, in Australia this week, on Wednesday, December 30th, actually, in Australia, there was a bushfire in the West Australian outback, and it destroyed nearly 40 homes. And firefighters there have been fighting these bushfires for the past 3 months. And now Australia is declaring this a natural disaster. So, if you know anyone in Australia, definitely contact them or try to contact them or just that area and find out if they're safe. And, best of luck to all the people of Australia and anyone who has family in or near Australia. We certainly hope that things get better soon. And if there's anything that the rest of the people of the world can do, by all means, leave a comment or send an email. Now, it's been a pretty big week for women in the film industry. Miss Catherine Bigelow, the director of The Hurt Locker, which is an independently made film about a bomb squad in Iraq, well, she has been receiving lots of honors this year, and at the National Critics Society Awards, she was just honored with Best Director. Her film won an award for Best Actor, as well as Best Picture. And Monique of Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. Monique also won Best Supporting Actress at the same awards for her incredible performance as an abusive mother in that film. And, I was supposed to be the first minority to win the award for Best Director at the Oscars, but it seems like Miss Bigelow or Lee Daniels, who was the director of Precious, one of them may beat me to that title this year. And, what are you going to do? Best of luck to you guys. Lastly, you should know that U.S.-bound international travelers will now be subject to more advanced and enhanced screening processes, especially if you are traveling from a country of interest. Now, you may be surprised to find out that Yemen is on that list of countries. For a list of other countries, you can visit Yahoo News. You can also look at the New York Times, which are very, great news sources. And in the future, I just want you guys to know that actually this segment of the show, What the People Want to Know, will be interactive. So if you want to be featured as one of the presenters of the news, leave a comment with your contact information. You can also send a message on YouTube, or you can also send an email directly to the For&By Show. And we're taking submissions for people to present the news here on the show live to the people of the world. And that is what the people want to know for this week.